So, first things first, guys, how are you?
We're very well, thanks.
Very well.
Here at Pinkpop, aside from your own gig, are there artists here today or this weekend that you'd like to see?
Yes.
Yes, there
Yes,
are.
there are.
Yes.
We're clashing with Years and Years.
Okay.
And I really like Years and Years. I think like their music's really cool.
Mhm.
James Bay's playing.
He's a very nice man.
Really nice man. Really beautiful songs.
And then the Chili's are playing, so can't really argue with you got
I
with
think
that.
we're all definitely going to be watching that.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
Well, that's well, Red Hot Chili Peppers are the headliners. Did you grow up with them as well?
Yeah. Blood Sugar Sex Magic is one of the greatest albums of all time, in my humble opinion.
Do you remember first buying it or first?
Yeah, I still study all the guitar parts and the bass parts.
Okay.
It's
And-
great, yeah.
And then for you, did you grow up with them?
I was more Californication was my sort of entry point. But I love that record. I love Blood Sugar Sex Magic as well. I like, what's the album with By the Way on it and Can't Stop? What's that one called? Is it called
By the way, I think so.
So that's a massive album as well.
I have an off-camera fact to tell you about Blood Sugar Sex Magic, but it has to be after the.
But were they an inspiration, in a sense?
They were to me as a guitar player, yeah,
And
and a bass player.
And
More
then,
bass player.
so now, what do you expect from their performance? Have you ever seen them before?
Yeah, years ago I saw them, and they had these. They were wearing silver spacesuits, and then they had these silver hats on them with flames coming out of their hats. It's pretty cool. Except Flea's hat didn't work, so everyone else had these big flames, and he was this little like candle thing.
Okay.
Embarrassing for him, I would imagine.
And will you be here for more than today, or is it on to the next show?
Sadly, we're going home tomorrow.
Going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wish we weren't. We wish we were staying for longer. But yeah, we've got our album coming out, so we've just still got loads of little jobs to do before that happens. So I guess, sadly not.
Well, you mentioned the album, Red Earth and Pouring Rain. Sorry, I
Yeah, that is all good.
couldn't read my own handwriting. But there have been some changes in the last couple of months. Was it a difficult album to make?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think we knew what we were trying to achieve, and we were very clear about how we wanted it to sound. And so in that respect, it felt like a really natural, creative sort of like journey. But then I guess, yeah, it was tricky because Joey sort of decided he wanted to leave the band sort of halfway through. But we just sort of, it was sad, but I think we just were so excited about the record that we just carried on.
Did his departure come out of the blue for you?
I don't think Out of the Blue is totally fair, but at the same time, it was still a surprise. But I wouldn't say
Right.
it came from sort of like. I think we could all tell that it was something wasn't quite working there. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just as Kev said. I guess it was really sad when obviously you've been touring
Sure.
together for like 4 years as a three, and you literally become like a family. At times, like it's the best thing ever, and at times, it's difficult because you're just spending so much time together and you're working so hard together. But you're like brothers, you literally know each other so well. So it's definitely sad, and it definitely hit us, pretty hard. But at the same time, it is the kind of thing that you can't just go, well, in that case, let's just like figure things out for a bit and just take 6 months to record an album and stuff. But it was like, now we've worked so hard on this and we really know what we're trying to do. Let's finish the album and see where we're at. And then we were like, when we finished the album, we were like, let's just keep going. Let's not like, it's really easy to be derailed by
Sure.
stuff. It's harder to just sort of stay true, stay on that course.
How far in the process were you?
About halfway through, I'd say. Yeah, it was like beginning of January, and we started in November and finished at the end of February. So yeah.
Yeah.
And creatively, did the album already have a shape? Was it already kind of like to say you had in your mind what it would be?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was starting to take shape a big time.
Yeah.
The album.
And I think because we all play loads of different instruments, so it wasn't like a situation where, because we lost our guitar player, we lost all the guitar parts or had to rethink them, because actually Davie had written a lot of the guitar parts, I'd written the guitar parts, so it was very much a sort of melting pot of ideas, not based on like one person.
Like we've never really been like that. It's always been like so many different people play so many different things. So there's not like, yeah, this guy does this guy does that. There are parts in the album where I'm playing banjo, there are parts where, you know, it's just different.
And then are you still in touch? I suppose you are, but are you still in touch?
Yeah, we are still in touch. See him quite often actually. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times in the last month, I reckon. Yeah, he seems like really well. Just he's a legend. He's literally like a brother. It's just as like sad that you're not getting to.
Yeah, well, did he give you an explanation why?
I think, to be honest, it's the touring that I think it's like it's something. There was an article about it in England, but it's like in one of the newspapers about how touring is amazing. We love touring, but at the same time there is like stuff about it that is difficult,
Sure.
and you don't get to see your friends or your family. Joey's also from Norway, so his family are all in Norway, and so when we come home, we're like seeing everyone, and when he comes home, he's still not home.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, I mean, I don't want to put words in Joey's mouth, but I think that touring related thing was difficult, and also, I mean, we went straight from finishing a tour straight into recording our album, because I guess we worked quite hard as a band. I think it's fair to say.
I mean, it's very fair to say, yeah.
So I think, perhaps like if you're working as hard as that and you're not getting the release of seeing all these people that you really care about, it's very difficult. So.
Do you plan time then to, like you say, do you go back to England to see family and have that time?
Yeah, you do. It's just, I just guess it's not as much as perhaps as it is for normal people who like, you know, just come home from work and they're just immediately with people that they know and love and stuff. So, but it's just a bit different, and I think it's not for everyone, you know.
What keeps you going?
Just love playing music
Yeah.
with each other.
Sure.
Yeah, like we're so lucky. I mean, like that's the thing that people don't really talk about touring, is that it's difficult, but people do always talk about how amazing touring is, and you get to travel the world and be in, you know, Holland and play at Pinkpop, which is incredible. So like, you know, we're not gonna sit here and say like, yeah, man, it's really hard being. It's difficult, but everything's difficult, you know, and it's also an honor, and like you know, we've been in bands where you don't tour the world and you just play the same small venues all the time.
Yeah,
it's not that fun.
and nobody turns up.
And no one turns up, and like your mum's there, and that's it. And so yeah, it's nice to do shows where people come and support you.
So now Pinkpop,
Yeah.
did you know about the festival before you were booked?
We've been told a few things about the festival, yeah. Just heard such good things, and obviously saw the lineup, and it's just so exciting.
Is it important what kind of lineup a festival has? If you want to play there, or if you...
I think obviously you want to play at festivals where you sort of love the other artists playing. I think that's always a big thing. But yeah, I think also just the reputation of Pinkpop, besides the artists as well, it's just that it's a great festival and that people love it, and that, you know, it's just loads of fun. That's what we heard, and you know, if you know you're going to be playing to quite a few people, and it's going to be really fun. And like we've just been hanging out backstage, and we can hear like there's such an amazing atmosphere just like radiating, and we're like really excited to get out there and play. So yeah.
And well, your new album, are you going to play music from that album?
Yeah.
Have you already?
Yes.
We've tried out some songs a few times, yeah. But this is definitely the biggest crowd will have played any new stuff to, so by a long way. So
What have you noticed about the new material?
I think audiences have been really like kind or patient. You know, it's hard when you listen to a lot of new songs, but people have seemed to really like them so far.
I think we thought there might have been like a bit more of sort of an issue or something, because it's slightly different sound pads,
Sure.
but live, I don't think, it doesn't seem like, I think the reaction is as if it's an old song, you know, it feels like, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Is there one that you've noticed that goes over well?
Particularly.
I think we're still like, we've often said that the audience is quite an important part of us understanding what our live show should be like and how the song should take shape.
Yeah.
So I think we're still figuring out what is reacting well and what people are really into. But people have been pretty good across the board, haven't they?
Yeah, it's hard because it's pretty positive. Yeah.
Is this in the back of your mind, and obviously because of how the album came together and the lineup changes, do you think about how the people react?
I think we do a bit, but like I don't think it's something that stops us from doing. You know, I think to a certain extent with music, you've got to kind of make sure you're doing what you want to do.
Sure.
It's so important to like. When you perform, you should give like 100% to the audience at that point, and like make sure you do like, you know, put on the best show you can. But when it comes to writing, I think it's pretty important that you do really make sure you're making the music you want to make, because you are going to have to go out there and play it over and over and over again. And if you know, you don't want to be one of those bands where the band just look bored on stage, and we're never like bored. I think, you know, we have like, I don't know, yeah.
Also, if you second guess, if you start imagining what people might want to hear, you just go down a rabbit hole. You don't know you have no idea what people want to hear.
What was it we were saying the other day? You should try and make the record your audience didn't realise they wanted you to make, not the record that they wanted you to make.
Yes.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Finally then, the album title. When in the process did the album title pop up?
First song we demoed was called Red Earth and Pouring Rain. And we all sat around and going, man, that's a cool title. Could be a cool album title.
So about 6 months before we actually made the album,
Yeah.
we decided what it was going to be called, pretty much.
It was because I guess it was the first song, and it was the first one where we tried out a bunch of different new sounds, and we'd all kind of gone like, yeah, this feels great. Like, it was a really rough, not very well recorded demo, but it was like, we kind of all went, there's something in this. And then the rest of the album always sort of went.
So then the rest kind of gravitated towards where you were going with it.
Yeah, but like that gave us like the colours or whatever, and then we just had to apply them in different.
Do you remember where that track came from?
Yeah, I do. I was in India for a bit last year, and Red Earth and Pouring Rain is the name of a really old Indian poem, and it just stayed with me. The image of like, you know, it's just quite a strong image, I suppose. The monsoon imagery is pretty cool, and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if it's the same. I think it's the same with everyone. You just things linger, and you're not asking. I'm not like I don't want to remember things. It's like I just do remember things, and I just kept thinking about that phrase, and then sat down and wrote a song. And was like, that's the phrase I wanted this to be about. I wanted to like encompass that, and then. The album, we start going, right, well, what more can we get out of this idea and this headspace? And it was a really fun record to make in many ways as well. Difficult, but fun. Like,
it's very creative.
Really, like so many. I guess Julian, who used to play horns with us, now playing quite a lot of drums. Kev used to be the drummer in the band, and sort of him and Jules were working so closely together on how to get the best drum sounds and make sure it still felt like us but progressed. Marcus Hamlet's amazing with all these different analog synthesizers and modular synths, and he came in and added that whole texture to the album, which was really fun. And yeah, just Paul Frith added some beautiful horns and stuff, and it was just piece by piece, it was just really collaborative and really interesting.
In that sense, was it easier than your debut records?
I mean, technically it took us a really it depends how you look at music. It's like we had a year to do this album. We, wrote most of this album in, a year, or even less, maybe 6 months in terms of like 3 months or something. So it was, I don't know, it was all very much from one headspace, which can make it easier because they're all new and you can just kind of treat them all with these new elements, and you don't have like old demos of them where they're acoustic, and that wasn't really confusing things. Whereas older songs, it's like you have like 50. The first album we had about 50 songs, and we were like going 50 to 40 to 30 to 20 to 10. And then with this album we had like 20, and we wanted to get to like 12, and we did. So yeah, but Ian, the producer, who's a bit of a legend, was like, if it wasn't good enough for the first album, it's not going to be good enough for the second album. So all those songs were like, they're like in a vault. Now.
Have you still kept them, or have you thrown them away now?
They're still around. We still sort of every now and then, like, one of us will just start like tinkering around with an idea and go, oh, do you remember that one? There's something in that. I mean, I like to think there'll come a time, or maybe with EPs or something, we can find a way of releasing songs that don't quite fit on records. Because still, some of them are nice, I think. Some of them are cool songs. Just haven't quite figured out how to make them sit with an album yet. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, no worries, man.
Thanks.